Let's do it.
I am
All right.
recording. La,
Yeah.
la, la. I mean,
Arr.
arr, arr, arr,
Arr.
arr. Arr. Welcome, Little Rascals, to our finale of the Adventures of the Steampunk Pirates, where we're going to have
Arr.
a plot twist here and it's kind of be in your face here tonight with it, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm excited. Yes, yes, I am excited, and I know you are, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. It's going to be a short one because we only have three very short chapters to go. And
Okay.
so we're going to have a lot of fun with that and do our thing, right?
Let's
Yes,
kick
we
it.
Yes.
will.
And
Right.
uh, me. We have another song.
Okay, so when we left our intrepid heroes, what chapter were we on and what page?
Chapter 11,
11
page
and
108.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, we're on chapter 11, page 108. So
All right.
this is right after, I'm just going to say this. This is right after Kid
Is revealed to be a
has kidnapped Inkybeard.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where we left off. Oh, and of course we had an interruption in the show.
What?
And we found out exactly what Mainspring was doing. And so what we're going to do, we're not going to read the inserts at the bottom because it throws us off.
Okay.
So we're just going to go ahead and go straight through there. I don't think there are any in this part. I don't think. But
All
just in case there are, we're not gonna read that. Okay.
Roll right through. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna stroll right through. And so with that being said, I'll go first.
I'll go second.
Well, okay.
All
Go
right,
third.
Melanie.
I'll take third.
Okay.
All right. I'll go after Drew.
All right. I'll go fourth. I'll go after Brad.
There you
So
go, Bob.
Gave us a
Melanie's
little
second,
switcheroo.
Brad's third, and Drew, are you fourth?
Yes.
Yes.
And so that makes Bob
He's last. But not least.
MK.
Yay. And yes, you MQ are going to be right after me. All right.
That
You're
is
actually
going
here
to
right
be,
now.
we're going to be last, fifth, not last. No, not
Correct.
last, definitely, but
Correct.
fifth.
All right.
All right. So when I'm ready, I can begin, right?
Wait, check sound. You want to check sound real quick?
Yes, please. Oh, ding, 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 a ding. I'm not sharing my computer. How about we
See?
share this thing? Huh?
All that work you put in
I
during the
know.
week for these sounds.
Thank you for, well, that's why you're here.
That's why he's here.
One of the reasons
Oh,
I'm here for the food.
oh, that makes sense. That makes sense now. Got it. Glad we figured that one out.
Thank you. Okay, so let's check it out.
Dun, dun,
Ooh,
dun,
wait a
dun.
minute. Darth Vader?
Oh, well, if we're gonna do
That's
that,
the Emperor's
then
thing.
I feel completely. Oh, is it gonna come? Can you see? Oh, you can't.
All right.
Wait, you moved Inky. I mean, you moved Nell.
I know.
You can't see Nell anymore.
She's not
There you
showing
go.
up. Oh,
There she is.
There you
There
go.
she is.
Nell.
Mhm.
She's
There she
blending
is.
every now and
Yeah,
again.
you got to keep Nell on there. You
Yeah,
have like
that's
a
perfect.
headband or something you
keep
could
moving.
put on it. So she'll stay.
She'll stay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That is perfect. Okay. So is everybody
All right.
ready?
Tally ho.
Yep. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, chapter 11, in which the dread Captain Inkybeard reveals a revelation of his own. Kid's monster ship plunged deeper and deeper until Inkybeard felt his ears pop and the blue sparkle of the sunlit water gave way to blackness. All the while, Kid talked and talked about how brilliant he was to have tracked down Inkybeard. For his part, Inkybeard,
Remained quiet. Eventually, the engine cut out and the monster ship came to a standstill. Then he said, Master Kid, now I was wondering where are we being now? The monster's lair, of course. Kid picked up a lantern and held it up to the porthole so that Inkybeard could see the water outside draining away. He gasped, "Oh, what wizardry is this?" "This is not wizardry. It's whiz-kidry," Kid chuckled. The water is being drained away from the outer cave using a series of pumping air vents that lead to the surface. Inkybeard felt a shudder as the ship settled on the rocky bottom of the underwater cave. "Now, would you be so kind as to open?"
Okay.
The hatch behind you. Kid picked up a pistol and pointed it at Inkybeard. "Open a hatch in a ship on a belly at the bottom of the ocean," said Inkybeard, "and you are madder than me. Worry not. I've designed all this myself," said Kid. "Now the door, please." It waved the pistol at him. Inkybeard opened the hatch cautiously, then stepped out. Kid followed him with his lamp. Its flickering light filled the cave, allowing Inkybeard to see the outside of the remarkable underwater ship. "Hey, what do you know? It does look like a monster. It does look like your mother, Nell." Nell squeezed his hand. "Easy now, girl," he said. "It was only a joke."
Okay.
There's another hatch behind you, said Kid. Go through it. Inkybeard did as he was told. Kid lit another lamp, revealing a second cave, bigger than the first and rammed full of treasure. Kid followed Inkybeard inside. Inkybeard gasped. Now this be an impressive haul to be sure, but why are we here? To make a deposit. But you collected no treasure from my ship, just me and Nil. Kid stood in the doorway, his eyes sparkling. You are my treasure. You are the pirate who robbed me of my fortune. And now you intend to share yours with me? Is that it? Inkybeard chuckled. That's very generous of you, lad.
Okay.
In a way, you will remain in this cave until I come back and decide what to do with you. However, there is no food or water down here, and no way out. By the time I return, you'll be a pile of bones. Goodbye, Captain Inkybeard. Goodbye, Nell. Kid turned to leave. It just so happens that we remember your father's ship, said Inkybeard. But you do? Kid stopped in the doorway. Aye, I remember it well. Only you're wrong. Inkybeard never robbed it. The truth is that your old man lost his money afore setting sail for England. What are you blathering about? Yes, he lost his money in a dubious investment in the Americas. But as he crossed the ocean, an idea occurred to him to...
Okay. Make money another way. He would become a pirate. He took control of the ship, then grew a long, thick beard as black as ink. What are you saying? Said Kid, raising the pistol once more. Old Inkybeard didn't sink your father, Kid, said Inkybeard. Old Inkybeard is your father.
Kid paused in the doorway, and for a moment, the glint in his eye dimmed. Dad? Barney Kid, at your service, Inkybeard offered his hand. We knew it the moment we met you, but we couldn't find a way to tell you. Your own son, Kid. Your own boy. Inkybeard threw his hands open. Son! Kid's eyes blackened with anger. In which case, you deserve this even more. He slammed the door shut, leaving Inkybeard and Nell in the gloomy cave.
Okay.
Chapter 12. in which the steampunk pirates clash with a monster, and both come off worse for wear. No matter how many times Pendle tried to explain how the tracking device worked, no one except Lexi could understand her. The leaky battery had been traveling in the direction of the compass arrow for hours when Gage finally said, "The ticking on your egg is speeding up, laddie."
Okay.
I mean, that means we're gaining on the monster. Kendall surveyed the horizon. We should be able to see it by now. Yo ho, island ahead, yelled Blower. I say, isn't that where we left Mainspring? Asked Lexi. That be the island indeed, Captain Clockhart grabbed a telescope from its belt, but I see no sign of our first mate. Never mind, old Clickerty Tick-Tock. What about this monster? Said Gage. Pendle, are you sure this egg of yours actually... Crunch! The leaky battery suddenly tilted to the left, sending its crew staggering to the side. Loose barrels and buckets rolled straight over the edge of the ship. One of them knocked Mr. Pumps
clean off his feet. He would have fallen had Loose Screw not grabbed hold of his bandana and kept him on board. On the lower deck, the cannons hit the side of the ship with such force that they crashed through the wood and dropped into the ocean. What's happening? Asked Lexi. A pair of twisting tentacles appeared on deck. One of them coiled itself around the main mast, while another sliced into the side of the ship with a spinning blade. It's the monster! Yelled Rust Knuckles. Captain Clockhart tried to slice through a tentacle with his cutlass, but another appeared and clamped around his wrist. More wrapped themselves around his legs. Cammy.
Keep going, please.
A bit of assistance would be most welcome, said Captain Clockhart. Right you are, Captain. Gage switched to a rifle attachment and fired at the tentacles. They retreated, releasing Captain Clockhart. Kendall peered over the side of the ship and saw more tentacles cutting into
the ship's hull. It's trying to sink us! Water in the hole! Came a cry from below. Bail her out! Yelled Captain Clockhart. Mr. Gage, we need to get that hull repaired, and we need it repaired now! Aye, aye, Captain. But Gage was having difficulty climbing up the deck with the ship at such an angle. Okay.
Tweeted Twitter. Not if I have a plan to save us. We won't, said Captain Clockhart. Well, do you have a plan to save us? Asked Lexi, who was clinging on to the mast with both hands. Of course I do, said Captain Clockhart. My plan is that one of us needs to come up with a plan. Now, who's got a plan? That's not a plan, said Kendall. I'm afraid Twitter is right, said Lexi. We're all going to die. We need to fire at Kid's ship, said Kendall. An underwater ship like that will be pressurized. It will only take one direct...
Okay.
Hit to bring it up. Oh, now that I can do, Gage said. Cannon attachment reached his arm over the side of the ship and fired a mini cannon into the water. Suddenly, the leaky cauldron walked back into an upright position, flinging the crew over the other side of the ship. Out she rises! Said Captain Clockhart. A huge metal ship in the shape of an octopus emerged from the water. Tentacles had released the leaky battery and were thrashing about in the water as the monster ship tried to stay afloat. Gage's cannonball had smashed the glass in one of the monster's eyes, revealing Kid inside. He was soaking wet and looking distinctively unhappy.
Okay.
Look what you've done to my monster ship, he's cried. Sorry about that, Master Kid, said Captain Clockhart. Just as I thought, said Pendle. This monster contraption was an invention of yours? Contraption, exclaimed Kid. This is a far final example of steam engineering than your floating tin cans. He opened a hatch in the top of his ship and climbed out. At least we are floating, laddie, said Gage. Whereas you appear to be sinking, added Lexi. Kid clung on desperately as his monster ship filled with water. There's no chance I could catch a lift with you, I suppose, he
Okay.
asked.
Catch a lift, exclaimed Pendle. If you had your way, we'd be at the bottom of the ocean right now. No home down below! Ship ahoy! called Blower. If that's Inkybeard's crew, we'll teach them what's what, said Captain Clockhart. Pendle looked around at the damage caused by Kid's attack. You're in no position to fight anyone, she said. Wait a minute, said Gage, switching to his telescopic eye attachment. That's no Jolly Roger. The ship's flying the Union Jack. Oh dear, said Lexi.
He froze.
We're sitting ducks. Ah! I wouldn't want to be in your boat.
Okay. Kid chuckled. I say, that's rather funny. And when I tell the commander of this Navy ship how I am the one who put you in this position, you'll probably give me a medal. Oh, I say, things are looking up for the ever so humble cabin boy, said Kid. Not funny. Not funny, squawked Twitter. Okay.
Chapter 13, in which the steampunk pirates meet someone they haven't seen in quite some time. The next warship slowed down as it approached. All along the deck, red-coated soldiers stood with muskets and rifles aimed at the steampunk pirates. Rows of cannons stuck out from the sides of the ship. The pirates grabbed what weapons they could find, while Kid tread water. His
monster ship had now sunk completely. The commanding officer waved and cried, "Steampunk pirates! Raise your hands! Or we'll sink your ship!" "Never!" cried Captain Clockhart as the ship lurched suddenly to one side. One of the crossbeams snapped and banged him on the head. "Captain," said Pendle, "we're living in water. We have no cannons to defend ourselves. One hit and we're sunk." "Punk pirates don't admit defeat," said Captain Clockhart. "It's not in our nature." "Good men of the Navy," yelled Kid from.
Okay.
From the water, I am on your side. 'Twas I who did this damage to the leaky battery. The commanding officer was about to reply when another voice came from below deck. "Corporal Dunchump, is it safe to come up? The pirates are refusing to surrender, but they have a badly damaged ship. There's also a swimming boy. I was about to open fire on all of them." "Hold on. I would like a word with my servants first." A small man with a fur-lined coat and a golden crown on his head stepped out on deck. "Oh, hell, His Majesty, the King of England," cried Corporal Dunchump, saluting. The soldiers raised their guns and saluted.
Okay.
Ah, there you are, my steampunk pirates servants. You lot have caused me quite enough trouble. Quite enough indeed. I say, why is there a boy in the water? Your Majesty, said Kid, swimming towards the ship. Mine is the story of a boy who was badly wronged by pirates, and yet, silence! You'll show more respect
Okay. And bow before royalty, the king said. "Yes, your majesty," Kid bowed, but as he was swimming, this meant he disappeared under the water. The king turned to address Captain Clockhart. You there, with the clock on your chest. Would I be right in thinking that you are in charge?" "Aye," replied Captain Clockhart. "I be the captain of the ship." "Then you simply must give the command to surrender. Do so at once, and I will take you back. I'll have Mr. Swift turn you into obedient servants again. It is your only chance of survival." "Unfortunately, I think he's right about that," said Pendle. "I agree," said Lexi. "If we fight, we'll be okay."
defeated, sunk, obliterated. Oh, I hate to admit it, but we've got no choice, said Gage. That's where you're all wrong, said Captain Clockhart. There's always a choice. I may not always choose the wisest course of action, nor the safest. But if you ask me to choose between being a slave and roaming free, steampunk pirates will always take freedom. We're all gonna die, squawked Twitter. Your Majesty, yelled Kid, I will happily surrender. As an ever so humble cabin boy, my story is one with someone get that boy on board, said the king. Thank you, Your Majesty. And gag his mouth to stop him from talking.
Okay.
And what of the steampunk pirates? Asked Corporal Thundercup. If they won't surrender, sink their ship and be done with them. Cannon bearers, musketeers, and riflers, prepare to fire, commanded Corporal Thundercup. Our chances of survival are too small to calculate, said Lexi. They're minuscule, tiny. I think I can hear the approach of the ghost train. Captain Clockhart solemnly raised his fist. All hail the steampunk pirates! So this is it then, said Kendall. This is how our adventures end. And it's not bad enough. I think it's raining, said Gage.
Okay.
The author apologizes for interrupting at this exciting point, but before we discover the fate of our heroes, you may be interested to learn what happened to Inkybeard and Mainspring.
Right. Inkybeard was stuck in a cave, surrounded by huge mounds of gold, buckets of rubies, and mountains of diamonds. He sat down on a pile of precious silk underwear and picked up an emerald the size of his fist. "Nell, girl," he sighed, "we be in a right pickle this time."
Okay.
Click. Wind me up. Who's down here? Inkybeard jumped up and spun round to see who had spoken. The voice belonged to a mechanical man with a large key in his back, lying on his side. Inkybeard sat him upright. Inkybeard recognizes this heap of junk. You're one of the steampunk pirates! He gave Mainspring's key a couple of turns. He heard the whirring, clicking, and ticking of him.
Okay. Sorry about that. Where are we now?
Talk. Thank you.
85.
Oh, talk. Thank you. So, are you one of the machines with useful devices to get us out of here? Said Inkybeard. Click. No, I'm the scheming one. Tick. And I have a scheme to get us out of this hole. Talk. All I need is something to light a fire. Then you're in luck. Inkybeard patted his pockets, then reached inside his right boot and pulled out a match. I knew I'd put it somewhere safe, aha! So, what's this plan of yours? Click. We take gunpowder from our pistols, then blow a hole in the side of the cave. A hole? There's nothing but ocean on the other side of these walls. Tick. Exactly. The water will come, okay.
Rushing in. We'll each take inside a trunk positioned under one of these shafts that lead up to the surface. Tuck. The force of the water will push us up out the shaft, and we'll be free. Blow a hole in the side of the cave many leagues below the sea level, flood the cave with several gallons of ocean water, and lock ourselves inside trunks. This is mad. This be madness, said Inkybeard. Luckily, old Inkybeard embraces madness as other soldiers embrace scurvy and war.
Yes.
Let's do it. Now, if you are sitting comfortably, it's time for the final chapter of this enthralling adventure.
Chapter 14, in which it rains treasure, with the occasional downpour of pirates. Things had never looked worse for the steampunk pirates. 100 guns had been loaded, and every single one was pointing their way. Their ship was unarmed and letting in water. Kid was safely on the Navy ship, managing to look smug even though his mouth had been gagged.
Okay.
Yo ho! Goodbye to all I know, yelled Blower with a final whistle. It's been an honor serving with you all, said Captain Clockhart, Russ Knuckles, Washer Williams, Mr. Pumps. Ow! Something heavy hit Pendle on the head. I'll thank you not to interrupt, Pendle lad, said Captain Clockhart. I'm making a final speech. Sorry, Captain. It's just that something hit me. He bent down to pick it up, but Captain Clockhart grabbed it first. It was a coin. He tested it between his teeth before announcing, gold. It'd be raining gold. He looked up and another coin hit him in the eye. Pennies from heaven, pennies from heaven. Twitter scooped and swerved and to avoid being hit.
As more coins came down. The soldiers on the Navy ship dived for cover. The tough, metal-bodied pirates were unaffected by the shower of coins. Captain Clockhart snatched a glistening jewel from the sky. Look at this! There's jewels, too! This be a downpour of treasure! How is that possible? Asked Pendle. Twitter was turning figures of eights and loop-the-loops to avoid getting hit. What goes up? He squawked. Must come down! Look, said Pendle. It's all coming from the island. In the middle of the island was what looked like an erupting volcano of treasure. Small pieces were followed by heavier ones. Then two large wooden trunks flew into the air. Okay. Danny?
One landed in the sea next to the island while the other knocked the masthead off the Navy ship and splashed down between the two ships. Corporal Thudchump, don't just stand there, yelled the king. Toss out a pair. These raining coins are tearing my ship apart. Turn the ship around, cried Thudchump. What on earth is going on? Or what on earth is going on? Asked Lexi. A lid popped open on the nearest chest and Mainstream appeared. Nick, oh, you walked her back, are you, Nick? Come to apologize, have you? Well, I don't forgive you. Okay.
For leaving me. Then I won't waste my time on apologies, said Captain Clockhart. Instead, I'll ask you whether you would like to remain captain of that wooden chest or return to your role as first mate on this pirate ship. Oh, very well, Mainspring replied. Drop the rope ladder, said Gage. Let's get him up. By the time Mainspring had climbed on board, the last of the treasure had fallen, and the king's ship had sailed away as fast as it could. Tick! Who was that? Asked Mainspring. No one important, replied Captain Clockhart. In actual fact, Lexi said, the King of England is one of the most important people in the world.
Okay.
Not to me, he's not, said Captain Clockhart. The only important people are right here on the leaky old vessel. He picked up his coin and tossed it in the air. Twitter swooped down and caught it in his beak. Just one above it, he said, dropping the coin on the deck. Captain, the ship is still badly in need of repair, said Gage. Aye, and I know I can trust you to get the crew working on it straight away. But what about Inkybeard? Asked Pendle. Over here, yelled a voice in the island. Inkybeard was sitting on the beach with an open chest beside him. Mel was clinging to it with his head tighter than ever. Obviously, alarmed.
Okay.
Alarmed by the ordeal she had just been through. You wouldn't leave a fellow pirate stranded here. Don't you know, said Gage. There's no such thing as a fellow pirate. Very true, Mr. Gage. Goodbye, Inkybeard, said Captain Clockhart. Until next time. Goodbye, Mr. Tree. Mainspring waved at the island. Are you feeling all right, first mate Mainspring? Asked Lexi. Click, never better. Tick, you see, down in that cave, I had more treasure than I had ever dreamed of. Top. But what use was that without my freedom? Now there is a lesson for you, Pendle, said Captain Clockhart. I know how you like to find
Okay.
morals in our adventures.
That's not the moral of this, said Pendle. Kid betrayed us and tried to sink us, just as Inkybeard and all those others we've met have done. The moral is that we should not trust anyone. That's not right, said Gage. We met you, didn't we? Remember? Back in the king's kitchen, when you showed us our true path. That day we put our trust in you. That's very true, Mr. Gage, said Captain Clockhart. But we're steampunk pirates. We're not here to learn lessons. We're here to fight and loot and claim our reward. We're here to seek bright horizons and to make our future rich with golden opportunities. Now, my badly bolted buccaneers, let's get this ship shape. Gage, a song is required.
Okay, aye, Captain. As the steampunk pirates set about repairing the damaged ship, Gage threw his head back and sang, and we're about to sing. We are the steampunk pirates.
We'll never strike at you.
Iron and
copper
and
steel.
bits of steel.
A supreme monster.
Tried to
tip our heel.
But
It was the land of kids.
Not real. The monster
wasn't
wasn't
real. Not real. The monster wasn't real.
Not real.
The end.
Huzzah!
Oh, huzzah indeed. Well, and that is the conclusion of the adventures. We can't see it. The adventures of the Steampunk Pirates by Garrett P. Jones. Woohoo!
Woo! Yeah.
Okay, so the
All
big.
for Captain Jones.
Okay, right. Hurrah for Captain Jones.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
so wasn't that big reveal of Inkybeard being Kid's father, was that not a Luke Skywalker Darth Vader moment in there?
Oh,
Most
100%.
That's why I had that
100%.
music.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
And so when you mentioned that last
Perfect.
week, Brad, that's what I was like,
So,
Wow.
you know what's funny? I wanted to, you guys can't see because the thing. I wanted to wear these
Nice.
Oh, nice.
and just happenstance, but I didn't because I was like, oh, these are weird. But I totally should have just worn
You
them.
should have worn them. Put them on now.
I mean,
Before I stop recording.
I was wearing them, but you couldn't really see them. But I had these on the whole time.
I thought I could
That's
make out the Empire symbol on one of those
Mhm.
one of those
Isn't
mouses.
that hilarious? I was just
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to wear these because they look, they look kind of like techie. And I was like, no, because they're like Disney ears, but totally
Makes sense.
Totally.
Perfect.
just by accident. It's,
Perfect.
Wow.
You were just
That's
on the
great.
wavelength.
Yeah.
I 100% didn't read ahead or anything. Just was like,
Yeah.
I just feel like the
Yeah.
force was with me.
Yes, it
Well,
I
was.
didn't read ahead either, and that
Yes, it
totally
was.
shocked